Every morning in homes across the country, people reach for their favorite wellness ritual, whether it's a green smoothie, a spoonful of apple cider vinegar, or a probiotic capsule. But quietly, without fanfare, one unassuming white powder is making waves in the world of everyday health: Psyllium Husk. It doesn't come in flashy packaging or promise overnight miracles, but behind the scenes, it's transforming the way ordinary bodies function, one bowel movement at a time. Picture this: a fine, beige powder, almost like ground oats, stirred into a glass of water. It looks harmless. It tastes nearly nothing. Yet within minutes of swallowing, it begins a quiet revolution in the digestive tract. It swells. It gels. It moves. And as it does, it carries with it toxins, excess cholesterol, and sluggish habits that have built up over years of processed meals and sedentary routines. This isn't magic. It's fiber, specifically, soluble fiber of the highest order, and Psyllium Husk happens to be one of the most powerful forms available. For decades, fiber has lived in the background of nutrition advice. Eat more fiber, doctors have said, as if it were a chore, like flossing or stretching. But what if fiber wasn't just a footnote in a healthy diet, but a central player in how the body maintains balance? What if the key to steady energy, clear skin, a calm mind, and even a stronger heart wasn't found in expensive supplements or extreme diets, but in something as simple as a spoonful of plant husk dissolved in water? Psyllium comes from the seeds of a small desert plant known as Plantago ovata, grown mainly in India and parts of the Middle East. For generations, traditional medicine systems have used it to soothe the gut and cleanse the system. Today, modern science is catching up, revealing that this ancient remedy does far more than just keep things moving. It's involved in the delicate dance of metabolism, immunity, and even mood regulation, all starting in the gut. The gut, as researchers now understand, is not just a food processor. It's a command center. Lined with trillions of microbes, it communicates with the brain, influences hormone levels, and plays a major role in inflammation, the silent culprit behind many chronic diseases. When the gut is out of balance, everything else can follow: energy drops, skin breaks out, cravings spike, and focus fades. But when the gut is supported with the right kind of nourishment, the entire body begins to recalibrate. That's where psyllium steps in. Unlike insoluble fiber, which acts like a scrub brush, psyllium is soluble. It dissolves in water and forms a viscous, gel-like substance. This gel doesn't just add bulk. It acts like a sponge, soaking up water and expanding as it travels through the digestive system. This expansion triggers the intestines to contract more efficiently, pushing waste along in a smooth, natural rhythm. No straining. No urgency. Just consistency. But the real magic happens in what the gel carries with it. As it moves, it binds to certain substances in the gut, like bile acids, which are made from cholesterol. The body, now short on bile, pulls more cholesterol from the bloodstream to make replacements, effectively lowering overall cholesterol levels. This isn't a minor effect. Study after study has shown that regular intake of soluble fiber like psyllium can lead to measurable reductions in LDL cholesterol, the kind linked to heart disease. In fact, health authorities have acknowledged this so strongly that products containing psyllium are allowed to carry heart health claims on their labels. Now consider the modern diet. It's rich in refined grains, sugars, and fast foods that digest quickly, sending blood sugar on a roller coaster. 1 minute you're energized, the next you're crashing, reaching for another snack to stay alert. This cycle stresses the pancreas, overworks the liver, and over time can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. But psyllium changes the script. When taken with a meal, it slows down the rate at which carbohydrates are broken down and absorbed. The result? A gentler rise in blood sugar, fewer spikes, and more stable energy throughout the day. Imagine eating a slice of toast with jam and feeling no sudden rush followed by a crash. Imagine having lunch and not needing a nap afterward. This isn't about restriction or deprivation, it's about moderation from within. The fiber acts like a buffer, smoothing out the edges of modern eating habits. And for those already managing blood sugar concerns, this effect can be a game changer, reducing the burden on the body's regulatory systems. Then there's weight. Not the kind of weight loss promised by fad diets, but the kind that comes from feeling full, satisfied, and in control. Hunger is complex, driven by hormones, emotions, and biological signals. But one of the simplest ways to dial it back is through volume. Psyllium, once hydrated, takes up space in the stomach. It sends signals to the brain that say, "We're full." Not stuffed. Not uncomfortable. Just content. And when you feel content, you're less likely to snack mindlessly, less tempted by the office donuts or late-night chips. This isn't about shrinking the body. It's about respecting it. Giving it what it needs to function without constant interference. In a world where so much of wellness is about doing more workouts, more cleanses, more restrictions, psyllium offers a different path, doing less, but smarter. It's not a stimulant. It doesn't burn fat. It simply supports the body's natural rhythms, allowing it to find its own balance. And yet, for all its benefits, psyllium remains under the radar. It's not trendy. It doesn't come with influencer endorsements or viral challenges. It's not something you brag about at brunch. But that might be its strength. It's humble. It's accessible. A small container costs less than a weekly coffee habit, and a teaspoon lasts for days. It mixes into water, juice, oatmeal, or smoothies, disappearing into the routine without demanding attention. But don't mistake simplicity for weakness. The effects build quietly, over weeks and months. At first, the change might just be more regular bathroom visits. Then, perhaps, fewer heartburn episodes. Then, a surprise blood test showing lower cholesterol. Or a comment from a partner, "You seem lighter." Not just in weight, but in mood. These aren't coincidences. They're the ripple effects of a system working as it should. Of course, it's not for everyone, and it's not a cure-all. Some people experience gas or bloating when they start, especially if they're not used to high fiber. That's normal. The gut microbiome needs time to adjust. The solution isn't to stop, it's to start slow, drink more water, and let the body adapt. Hydration is key. Without enough water, psyllium can't do its job. It needs fluid to swell, to move, to carry waste. Taking it dry or with too little liquid can lead to discomfort, even blockages. So the ritual matters, a full glass of water, every time. Not optional. Non-negotiable. There's also timing to consider. Taking psyllium too close to medications can interfere with absorption. It's not that the medication stops working, it's that the gel may trap it and carry it out before the body can use it. So spacing it out, by an hour or two, ensures everything gets where it needs to go. This isn't a flaw in psyllium, it's a sign of how powerful it is. It doesn't just sit passively. It interacts. It participates. And that's what makes it so fascinating. Most supplements are passive. They dissolve, they release, they're absorbed. But psyllium is active. It changes form. It moves. It cleans. It's more like a worker than a nutrient. A janitor, a traffic controller, a moderator all in one. It doesn't become part of the body like a vitamin. It works through the body, then leaves, taking unwanted material with it. This quality also makes it sustainable. Unlike synthetic laxatives that can irritate the gut lining or lead to dependency, psyllium works with the body's natural mechanisms. It doesn't force movement. It supports it. Over time, many people find they don't even need it every day, just when their diet slips, or travel disrupts their routine. It becomes a tool, not a crutch. But beyond the physical effects, there's something deeper at play. In an age of complexity, psyllium represents simplicity. It reminds us that health doesn't always require innovation. Sometimes, it's about returning to basics: water, plants, movement, rhythm. It's about listening to the body's oldest signals: hunger, fullness, elimination. These aren't primitive functions. They're vital. And when they're ignored, everything else suffers. Think about how many people live with low-grade digestive discomfort, bloating, irregularity, fatigue after meals, without realizing it's not normal. They assume it's just part of life, part of aging, part of stress. But what if it's not? What if the body is simply asking for more fiber, more hydration, more consistency? Psyllium isn't a cure for every ailment, but it can be a reset button. A way to clear the clutter and let the system breathe. And the benefits don't stop at the gut. When digestion improves, energy follows. When inflammation drops, joints feel better. When cholesterol is managed, the heart doesn't have to work as hard. When blood sugar is steady, the brain functions more clearly. These aren't separate systems. They're connected. And fiber, especially the kind found in psyllium, serves as a bridge between them. Even the microbiome, that vast ecosystem of bacteria living in the gut, responds to psyllium. While it doesn't feed bacteria the way prebiotics like inulin do, it creates a better environment for them to thrive. By regulating transit time and pH levels, it helps good bacteria flourish and bad ones recede. Some research even suggests it may help reduce gut permeability, often called leaky gut, by supporting the integrity of the intestinal lining. This is not trivial. A compromised gut barrier has been linked to autoimmune conditions, food sensitivities, and chronic inflammation. Anything that helps protect that barrier is worth paying attention to. And again, psyllium does it gently, without assault or aggression. It's not an antibiotic. It doesn't wipe out microbes. It simply creates conditions where balance is more likely. All of this raises a quiet but important question: why isn't everyone doing this? Why isn't psyllium as common as multivitamins or omega-3s? Part of the answer lies in perception. Fiber is boring. It's associated with old people, bran muffins, and medicine cabinets. It doesn't promise glow or glamour. It promises function. And in a culture obsessed with appearance and speed, function can feel unexciting. But maybe that's changing. As more people experience burnout, digestive distress, and metabolic confusion, they're looking for solutions that go deeper than surface fixes. They're tired of quick fixes that fail. They want sustainability. They want resilience. And they're discovering that sometimes, the most powerful tools are the ones that have been around all along. Psyllium isn't a miracle. It won't make you live forever or erase years of poor habits overnight. But taken daily, with care and consistency, it can shift the baseline. It can make the body more efficient, more regulated, more at ease. It can turn a chaotic digestive system into a well-oiled machine. And from that foundation, everything else becomes easier. So the next time you see that plain container in the supplement aisle, don't walk past it. Stop. Pick it up. Read the label. Think about what your body has been asking for, without words, without drama, just through subtle signs. Maybe it's time to listen. Maybe it's time to add a spoonful of something simple, something natural, something that works quietly but powerfully behind the scenes. Because health isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's a gel forming in the gut, moving waste, balancing sugar, lowering cholesterol, all without a sound. And sometimes, the most profound changes come not from chasing the new, but from rediscovering the old. Psyllium Husk isn't the future of wellness. It's the present. And it's been here all along, waiting to be noticed. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more simple, science-backed insights on how to feel better in your body, naturally. Psyllium might not be flashy, but as you've seen, sometimes the quietest remedies make the biggest difference. Drop a comment below if you've tried it or if you're thinking about giving it a go. We love hearing from you. And if you know someone who's always bloated, tired, or struggling with their digestion, share this with them. Small changes can start with a simple spoonful. Until next time, thanks for watching.